yeah. And maybe we'd be better off being just friends. Oh yeah, it's getting kinda obvious what you want from me. Only calling when you feel alone. You make promises, then you let them go. So if you just wanna have my body, you better go find somebody else.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to 5Fs to Love, our community, our conversation. And we have tonight my favorite man, other than my partner. Well, I don't know. My favorite anyway. Scotty, where you at, boo?
I'm here. Hi, guys. How are you, Jessie?
Hi, honey. Thank you so much for stepping up for me when I'm having technical issues yet again.
We got you.
I love you for it. And you're all good?
I'm
Almost
good.
Valentine's Day.
Happy to be here.
It's good. And we got Dr. K. Where you at, honey?
Here I am. How's it going?
Look at you with your haircut and everything.
I don't have on a hat.
I know, but
looking fine.
So it's a special episode tonight. We got our baby boo-boo. Jeff, where you at?
I'm here. Thanks for having me again.
Thank you so much for coming back. And pretty soon you're going to be here all the time because you'll be back in Michigan.
Yes, a few more weeks. Well, about 10 more weeks. And
Yeah,
I'll be back in Michigan.
The weather will be just settling itself in.
Thank God. Get that pool open. Let's go.
So Valentine's, so Valentine's Day is almost here, and a lot of conversation lately. I've been hearing it, especially these last couple of years, but right now when love is in the air and all of that, and the conversation of fluidity. And unfortunately, I can't see the questions right up, but I think Scotty's going to read them for me, right?
I think we need to take a quick commercial break.
Real commercial break. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Eres bonita, el olor de tu cabello son cosas que me excitan. Y tus panties en el suelo, también los.
Hi, Jeff.
How are you, Scott?
I feel like we lost our co-creators here.
There
she is.
I'm right here. Sorry about that. Still trying to get
Dr. K's back.
Technology in order here. So anyway, we're back, and 5Fs to Love Network, our community, our conversation. So we like to focus on the LGBTQ issues and conversations and ideas. And I have my favorite guys all with me, Scotty, Jeff, and Dr. K. So I'm super excited to have this conversation tonight about the whole fluidity. And it's something that comes up often, especially lately now. There's all these conversations about polyamory and all ethical non-monogamy. There's so many different conversations on how relationships are set up. And Scotty, did you get the questions already about fluidity?
The first question we're going to throw out tonight is, what is your understanding of fluidity within your community?
Ooh. Dr. K, you want to start with that?
Yeah.
Look at you.
I feel like fluidity is one of those hot buzzwords lately, right?
Yeah.
Trendy, right? Wouldn't you say it's trendy?
I do. And again, is it another way of saying bisexuality? I mean, you could talk about that and dice it and slice it so many different ways.
Is that what you guys think? That it's bisexuality?
I don't think so. I think it's more just somebody being free, almost like, what was that in the 60s where it was just free.
Love and
free thought.
yeah, live and live, love, laugh. I mean,
Right.
I consider myself fluid. And I know you guys, Dr. K, you and I haven't spent one-on-one time as much, so you don't know all of this stuff. But Scotty's
No.
been around for a lot of it.
I've heard some stories.
Yeah, I consider myself fluid because I happen to be into the person. And obviously, you know, they can't be unattractive in the space that they're in. But I find non-binary people sexy. I find women sexy. I mean, obviously, I'm partnered with a man now, and it's kind of the men are my thing generally. And the conversations on fluidity, when Christine and I were talking about it, I thought it was worth it because I'm finding more and more people are saying the word fluid, and it's not just like liking the same sex and the opposite sex. It's all the in betweens, right?
Yeah,
Jeff?
because you know, like fluid goes everywhere. You know, fluid can go in any crack. You know, fluid just flows.
Yeah.
Like it just
Good analogy, Dr. K.
yeah, it's loose. It goes where it where it wants to go.
Yeah. When you connect with somebody, Jeff, what do you think?
I guess fluidity for me is kind of finding out who and what you like. You know, we are put into these categories immediately. I'm gay, I'm straight, I'm bi. But when we get into those categories, I think that's when the fluidity starts, because we seem to find our what makes us pleasurable, what makes us excitable, interesting, or interested in other things, and that's when the fluidity starts, I think, in
Like
my situation.
categories, huh? Like
Right. So we start over here as a gay man, and then we kind of figure out what we like, and that's when the fluidity starts, and we gravitate to those feelings or that way of thinking. We start at a base, and then it kind of gets fluid. I don't think you step into something being fluid. I think it grows. I think we all grow.
Are you talking?
40 years I might be with who knows? But
are you talking about that in terms of the spectrum of just being with men?
With anybody.
Okay.
You know, or I mean, I guess for me, it's always what I'm attracted to, you know, or what feels good. You know, it was way different a long time ago. So, you know, the fluidity, it also comes with acceptance and all those other things.
Right.
When you feel better about yourself, you're more open to things, you're more open to people. And then that makes you more, not sexually powerful, but more open to different sexuality.
I say sexually powerful because I feel like I got everybody covered.
Right. You figured out the fluidity, let you to what feels good.
Right. Whether it's with a man or with a woman.
Right.
Exactly.
Or if you've got a foot fetish, or if you've got some other thing rolling around in your head that you want
like
to
if you're sniffies and you're
it's always been around. It's just like we're just now terming it.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it also comes with maturity, sexual maturity. You know,
True.
I'm not practicing the same sex I was when I was 20.
Right.
You're not?
No, it's far more enjoyable now.
But don't you think?
How so? That's interesting.
You know, I know what gets me off. I know what I like. I know who I want to be with. At 20 or even younger, or, you know, when you're first starting out sexually, you're experimenting. And that's with men or women or both. And then you start to find what you really like. I mean, you know, sometimes it takes people 10 seconds. Sometimes it could take them 20 years. But that term fluidity now, to me, means that I've explored this kind of fluid activity, and now I know what I like. Do you know what I mean? But that doesn't necessarily mean I'm stuck on that. Do you know what I mean? That one way of having sex or being intimate or just being human. You know, I think fluidity really transpires everything: your career, your friendships, your family. You know, you find out what works and what feels good. And I think that term now for the younger generation really opens up a whole new world for everybody. I mean, the internet has done that. That's really what's exciting about that word, fluidity, because it's just this kind of open-ended excitement. I think it's fantastic. I wish I was 16 and had all these terms.
But I think the younger
it does
generation
make it easier to have these terms now.
Oh,
it's
so
younger. Go ahead, Jeff. Sorry.
I think the sexuality now is so much easier and far more exciting. You know what I mean? I look at Jessie's kids and I see like pure love and excitement, and there's no fear. I think when I was growing up as a gay man, there was a lot of fear thrown in. We had AIDS. Everyone was afraid to have sex with each other. We were afraid to be fluid. We were afraid to express ourselves. We did it, but we did it like behind closed doors. I mean, there was a lot of shame involved.
Yeah, I have 2 of my kids are non-binary, and the Sunday night dinner conversations are really interesting. And they talk about who they think is hot, and it just flows. And we had a big conversation about Sam Smith the other night.
Okay.
So, yeah, and we're just, the difference between why is it okay for Harry Styles to wear a ballerina outfit and a rainbow sparkle jumpsuit, but it's not okay for Sam. It has to do with the whole body image. I mean, they're both gentlemen that are fluid, I think. Harry more so than Sam. But it's just how they choose to dress, and the whole body image thing comes into it too.
I wonder if Harry Styles dressing himself.
No, God, he is a team. Oh, he's not that smart.
Are they playing on people? Like.
Yeah.
He's made some movies, you guys. Have you seen the movie Postman, where he's a gay man married to a woman?
I have not seen that. No.
Oh my gosh, you gotta watch.
Is it good?
Oh my God, it's hot. And then the love scene, but yeah. I'm not gonna give it away, but it's called The Postman. Okay. Oh, The Policeman. The Policeman.
Oh, I started to watch it. I didn't finish it. Is it good?
Is it Netflix?
Oh my gosh.
Is it Netflix?
No, it's on. Is it on Netflix? Yeah, it's a movie. It's
Netflix or Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime.
When you think about it in history, these kind of tropes, or whatever you want to call them, Elton John, David Bowie, these kind of things have been happening for generations.
For years, right.
It's, now with Harry and even with Sam, it's far more accepted. It's almost like, whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before, it was so much different. So much different. When Elton and David Bowie really was, far the one that was changing gender ideals within the entertainment industry.
Right.
Okay, I have a thought, Jessie. What do you guys think about people dipping in and out of the quote unquote rainbow pond and calling that fluidity?
Well, gee, I suppose I should answer because I just said I do that. Well, what do you guys think about it? You all know that I think it's fine.
But do you think
it's more Skittles in the bowl?
Yeah. I mean, for me, fluidity is, I'm attracted to somebody's heart, their character, who they are as a person. If they happen to be a woman, if they happen to be a man. I mean, I think it's about a connection that you have with somebody and not putting a label on it. And I think in today's younger generation, that's just kind of become no big deal. Sure. Why not? Let's do it. And that's why I asked the question about bisexuality, because that's such a gray area. And people are afraid to say they're bisexual, but if they say they're fluid,
it's more.
Great. It's like cool. Yeah. And I just think, but do you think people hide behind the I'm really gay or I'm really, afraid to talk about that? So I'm just going to call it fluid.
I think some people do that because they're uncomfortable. Because when you say you're one or the other, then you're really like jumping into a lifestyle and it's more established, solid community. But when you say you're fluid, you're just, if you're a guy and you've been dating women your whole life and you're just curious or whatever, it's easier to be like, we're in a situation.
I'm fluid. It gives you wiggle room. Wiggle room.
All right, guys, we got to hold that thought. Let's take a quick commercial break and we will be right back with more from the team.
Yay. Thanks.
Yeah.
eres bonita, el olor de tu cabello son cosas que me excitan, y tus panties en el suelo.
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah.
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah. Loving how you wind up for me. Tonight is all on me. Mash up the place for me. Yeah, yeah. She just wanna highlight. Ooh, that body talk to me. I need a taste, baby. Loving the way you move around me. No more delay. No, you can wait to shut it down. Want to show me how you work it. I can't find no flaws, you perfect. Cause every time that you come around my way, I keep falling again. I keep falling again. And every time that you come across my mind, I keep falling again. I keep falling again in love.
You're back. Welcome back. Welcome back to 5F's to Love Network, our community, our conversation. We're specifically talking about LGBTQ issues and conversations of what's happening in the world. Tonight, we're talking about the word fluidity and how we feel about it. And I already shared that I'm fluid, and the guys have a lot to say, or don't. I don't know who's got something to say. Scotty, what do you think?
The comment I was going to make before the commercial break is I think that, especially in the gay community, you probably talked about this with people, but if you talk about, have you ever had sex with a woman? Would you ever have sex with a woman? You either get two responses. Oh my God, no, they're totally can't fathom that. They're grossed out by it. Absolutely not. Or yeah, why not? I mean, if I have a connection with the person and it works, why not? Right?
Right.
Kairi, you and Jeff too?
I'm sorry, what?
You guys both feel that way too?
Of course.
What if you have a connection with the person?
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's a lot of gay men that couldn't see that ever happening, right? They just
for sure. For sure. And then the way they talk about the vagina, it's kind of funny.
Right.
I mean, it's all wet and wiggly in there. I've heard boys say a lot of things, but you three are okay, huh?
I think if you've experienced sexuality with a woman and a man, like I think all of us have, that it's about, once again, being with the person, enjoying the sex. It happened to me a long time ago. At that point, when you're young, or for me when I was young, you just wanted to have sex. You don't get home and sex. And then you have it with the partner that your mind takes you. Like when I had it with the guy, I was like, oh, this is what it is. Like it changed the dynamic and the situation. It went from sex to intellectual feeling. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, it's like all of a sudden like a one-night stand. You have a one-night stand, you're like, ooh, all into it, but you don't really want to have a relationship with the person. It's kind of like that, like for me.
Okay. So you and the vagina are one night stands.
I mean, I can't say I won't do it again. You know what I mean? Who knows?
You guys be careful. There are a lot of ladies that see all of you and go, ooh, women.
But I think it comes back again to the connection you have with somebody, right?
Right.
I mean, if there's a connection and you're feeling it and you're not afraid of that, do what makes you feel good.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, you guys. I've actually, I think one of you, we've had this conversation before. A few years back, I hooked up with someone who was trans, and she hit me up in a hotel lobby and was like, "Girl," I was like, "Girl," and it was one of those things, and it was such a curious thing for me. And I mean, I hope we're allowed to do this. I'm like feeling mine and feeling hers. I was freaking amazed. I was like, I'm so impressed, these doctors or whatever. But I just knew that it wasn't like everything else that came with it wasn't something that could be part of my everyday life. Like I just knew that I couldn't date her.
It was a trans male.
Trans female.
Trans female.
Male to female.
Male to female.
Male to female. And I'm telling you, it felt like mine. I'm not gonna lie. She was like 6 feet tall, and she was beautiful. Like looked
All
like.
right, so that's a good segue to the next question. So when you're getting into a situation like that, do you any kind of relationship, do you ask this person if they're fluid?
I would have to ask, I think.
Me
Would you just go with the flow?
That's not something I would ever think to just ask, but it's an interesting question.
Yeah. Dr. K?
Have you guys ever asked that?
I think when you start if you're considering a relationship with somebody, I guess it's a form of asking if they're fluid, but you want to know, hey, well, what you into? You know, you want to know. But I don't necessarily ask out. I mean, I guess in the terms of what we're using fluidity for, yes, I guess you do.
I feel like gay men wouldn't be as intimidated or bothered by another man saying they're fluid with women, but I think vice versa, it would be more intimidating.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
That's
yeah.
And does that go back to the whole, taboo men and men versus
DL thing,
and women with women is hot and it's cool and all of that.
Yeah, I hate that, but I mean, I hate to say it, but it kind of is reality that we live in, right? It's always more acceptable for two women than it is because we're here to entertain you all.
Right.
Society has sexualized women for thousands of years.
Right.
And, that has just bled into the society, and hopefully fluidity takes a bite out of that.
Right.
Eventually it will. I mean, in 200 years, nobody's going to give a shit about anything.
Everybody's going to have both.
Well, and then we're going to have, full-on animatronic whatevers that become a part of something else.
Right.
So, technology's moving so fast.
Have you guys
saw a movie where, like, in the future, sex was illegal or something? Yeah.
Well, how do they procreate?
It's scheduled.
Oh,
that's weird.
Yeah, they have to. I'll find out this
what movie was this? I'm interested.
Yeah, me too.
Let me do a quick Google.
Scotty, ask the question.
While you Google that, have you guys ever, or would you ever not date somebody if they said they were fluid?
I would. I would date them even more. Like I find it interesting. I think it's like I find it sexy when somebody's open-minded. I find it's cool. And like I said, me and women, it's usually typically because I like it when there's a guy in the room,
Okay.
It's, I don't do it often, obviously, but I have dated a woman, and it was mainly emotional connection. I loved her and she's so cute and I love going places with her and all of that kind of stuff. But sex wasn't like that big of a conversation at all. But when I'm with a man, sex is like a really important part, probably because he's got stuff I don't.
I think the bigger question is, would you want to participate with them in that fluidity?
Ooh, we already know I would. The rest of you, talk to me.
I wouldn't be intimidated by that. It wouldn't be something I'd want to do all the time. But if that was something that I was in a relationship with someone I was pretty serious with, and that's something they want to explore.
You would be intimidated by a vagina and a pair of boobies in the face?
No, I'm a boob guy.
Well,
I'm a
you
boob
know
guy.
what's
You
so
know that.
funny?
You know
What
that,
man isn't?
right?
You guys are all boob people.
Mm.
I'm basically a gay man. I'm a boob person myself.
Hmm. Well, now we know.
Not like you didn't know.
Once again, if this person is honest, like Jessie, you know me, like put it on the plate, then we deal with it, and then we move forward.
Yeah.
I'd rather have you come to me and say, I'm married to a woman, but I'm really enjoying having sex with you, Jeff. But I still have sex with her. If that was put on the plate when I met this person, then it's a good start, because at least I know where I'm at.
Right.
Yeah. But you
Um,
would continue. You'd be like, all right,
No.
all right.
Sure. And if the wife wanted to come into that situation and it was the right thing and we all felt comfortable and we were all sexually attracted to each other, sure, why not?
You guys are surprising me tonight. I'm so impressed with you all. Okay.
When you think about it, we're all human, and it's why not? I don't have to marry these people anymore.
Yeah, I love that, because usually, like we said earlier, usually it's two women and a guy. It's not a big deal. People don't even bat an eyelash with that anymore. But two guys and a woman, I don't know.
Yeah, that's
Does
definitely
that, as a woman, turn you on more?
For
If
me,
it's straight guys.
I'm sorry, one more time.
So if you have two, if you have two straight guys or a gay couple, does the idea of two men turn you on more?
For me, it's more of a fantasy, because I feel like in reality, it would be a lot of pressure, because there's a lot of equipment. It would be a lot of juggling on my part. But I think it's sexy. I mean, I definitely would watch porn with it for sure. I think it's sexy.
Now, I'm no prude. I've had many of three-ways. I always kind of find them a little awkward at first, unless you know the person. But if you don't know the person, it kind of opens up like what you thought, like the fantasy and all those other ideas come into play. I think for me, the third partner, or two men and women or two women and men thing, not knowing them personally, just casually, makes it better.
I agree, because then you're not going to brunch the next day. Yeah.
There's no preconceptions. You know what I mean? They really don't know you during the 9 to 5 you. We put it that way. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh.
It opens up a
Grandma's
whole
like,
other world of fantasy, of intimacy, because sometimes sometimes you're not always, how do I say this? Completely intimate, completely fluid with those partners. So when the anonymity, blah, 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 blah,
That was right.
of that sexual experience is exciting.
Yeah.
I've had a three-way with the person after again, and then it was like,
Meh.
right? You're like, oh, you did it. It was great. It was fun.
check.
And you try to have it again, and it's just not there.
You guys are all gonna look for
So-
boobies and vaginas now,
so-
right?
Jessie, we know the answer for you, but have either of you guys ever thought about being fluid? Yes, no, and if not, why? Yeah.
I think it's natural. I think it's just part of sexuality to be somewhat fluid. You are, like Jeff was saying earlier, you want to see where you fit in.
Right.
You just flow into what feels right, and if it
Yeah,
feels
because again, you're attracted to who you're attracted to.
Right.
And sometimes it doesn't have to involve what gender they are, right?
right.
Yeah, absolutely. I love this conversation. The world is opening up, like, in so many ways.
Oh God, it's amazing. Like when I think about all of it, I'm almost jealous of everybody now. Like what? But I'm also spoiled. So a lot of my sexuality, I grew up in New York City. So in New York City, nobody cared. Nobody gave a shit that you were gay. Nobody gave a shit that you were fucking 18,000 people because everybody was doing it.
All right, guys, hold that thought. We got to jump to another commercial break. We'll be right back with more of the 5 F's of love.
Look at me, I'm on. 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 Can't stop, keep going. Can't stop, keep going. Can't stop, keep going. Can't stop, keep going.
Okay. Hold up. Yeah. I'm chasing a bag, I'm racing the clock. Look at them block, watching them flop. See this in my sleep. When I ain't had shit but my thoughts in the car, I really was lost. Now I'm public with the soundscapes. Niggas floss, I'm really pulling strings for the pound cake. I see you went for a puppet in the clown face for a little wage. That shit, the talk of the town is late. Still me, I never switch sides. Came a long way with the gas tank running on fumes.
Yeah. Eres bonita, el olor de tu cabello son cosas que me excitan. Y tus panties en el suelo.
And we're back.
So you know what I'm doing on our breaks? I'm
dying to know.
I'm actually sneaking in food. I've eaten all day. I'm so hungry. So I'm being fluid.
You're being fluid with the food. What are you eating? That's right.
I'm eating spaghetti.
It looks delicious.
It does look delicious.
It is.
Are you okay, Jesse?
Yes.
We need to get you a desktop to where all you do is click a button and it clues in. It's
and now we can't hear you.
That screws everybody up.
Jesse, say something.
She's on mute. We've lost you, Jesse. All right, you guys. What do you think the emotional impact is on someone who's dating someone who's married or fluid?
I think they're
sorry, let me rephrase that. Somebody who's married to someone who's fluid.
Good question.
What do you think that impact is on that relationship?
I think that could stir up a little jealousy, maybe.
For sure.
Is that me?
We hear you, Jesse.
Okay, good. I don't know what happened, but it was out of it. So what I miss?
We're talking about the impact of a relationship where you have two people married and one of them is fluid.
Yeah, that deserves a conversation.
What's
right?
the emotional impact on the relationship?
Oh my gosh. Well, I know what the impact of my relationship was. I mean, do you guys know about that? Have you dated anybody fluid before?
I have.
No? Well, the thing about it is, I mean, I think my husband at the time thought that I was just bringing a toy home for him to play with. And so once we got past the whole, this is a real person and this is a real human being and they have wants and needs and boundaries and things like that. I mean, he was rather supportive. I think he thought it was kind of cute. I think he thought it was funny or charming or cute, and he'd dip in and dip out or whatever. But it was very, it definitely would create drama if it was a guy. I think it would create drama.
So
because
was it emotional taxing to you, more so to your husband or to you?
To me, for sure. Because imagine being in a relationship with one person and how hard that is, keeping up communications and making them feel validated and blah, blah, blah. And I was doing that with two people and it was hard. And one of the things that she used to joke about is that it's like every day was his birthday. I never had a chance to really say how I felt because I felt like I was being given this gift all the time when in reality, we're all doing gifting together, but I did definitely feel like it was just too much. It was a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how you did it. I mean, we talked about it many times, and I was like, how do you juggle that?
It was hard. But again, like open communication, I think like sometimes the communication has to be at the most elementary level, like you're explaining to a child, just so that you get clear on the understanding between you and your partner. Because if you think that they understand, they probably don't. Just spell it out, black and white, split it out. My tongue is going here. Do you understand? I will be kissing you after.
Pressure on you to please both?
Yes, absolutely. It was hard.
Do you think it affected one or the other relationship for the better or the worse?
I think wow, that's a good question. For me, it improved my relationship with myself because it just after a time became clear to me. I have to love Jessie first. I have to figure out what makes me tick first instead of trying to keep all these people in my life happy. And it wasn't even just my romantic relationships. It was my work, my kids, my friends. But I just found that like I was just constantly like running interference,
Right.
And it gets exhausting.
Yeah.
Right.
I can just imagine.
For real.
It definitely was.
Yeah, because I'm sure you're thinking, I want to make myself happy, but I'm also married to this person.
Yeah, and then I love this person, and it's hard, and you want the two of them to get along, and for the most part they did and stuff, but it just was a lot of juggling on my part, and it was just too much.
And I would think in any situation like that, the other partner would be like, well, maybe I'm not really into this, but I want my partner to be happy, so I have to be into it or have to do it. And that creates other complications, right?
Yeah.
Stress and anxiety.
And there's a lot of polyamorous people that go through that because people think that the communication is there because everyone's aware, but there's so many different layers to that communication. It's a constant conversation. So yeah, it's definitely not for the faint at heart, or definitely not for the people who are not into really in-depth, difficult conversations.
What do you guys think about people who use fluidity as an excuse to step out on their partner or mate? Do you think that's a cop-out? Do you think that's just their way of getting what they want, doing what they want to do?
Self-gratification, pretty much. Yeah. If you're going into those kind of relationships, you have to be honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're going out on somebody, it's just,
and using fluidity as your hall pass, right? As your excuse.
Right. Yeah. Come on.
I think that's a lot of heterosexual relationships where the male decides he wants to pursue, maybe I'm gay, maybe I'm bi, maybe I'm just fluid, so it's okay if I do this, right?
Yeah,
I agree with Jessica. You have to be honest. I mean,
right.
there
'Cause
seems
you can call it fluidity, but no, that's cheating.
it's just being a whore.
Well, yeah.
That's just being a hoe. Just
You know,
you
when
be
I
a hoe,
moved to,
just go be one.
when we
There's a lot
moved
of
to
hoes out there.
Denver has a very huge polyamorous fluidity, the triad thing part of the community here. And this past year, it's been a very interesting growing period because, of course, me and my husband were thrust into this world here, and we're trying to make friends, and we would discuss certain people that we were. I lay it straight out. I'm not here to fuck you. You know what I mean? But if you want to be friends or whatever, and then you find that people only wanted to have sex with you, they didn't really want to be friends with you, or
That's kind of hurtful. Ouch.
Drake
Well,
said, no new friends.
The problem is I'm really honest.
I just want to love her.
So
Right.
it's like, it's made my mind think quite a bit about this whole way of living and being in a relationship with other people in the same relationship, or living together, or let's have a triad. It's
So,
strange.
Jack, do you think as you've gotten older, the people that you meet now, they want to have sex with you more so than be your friend?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to admit that this past 12 months has been hypersexual with relationship wise. I haven't performed sex with other people, but the sexuality has been a layer on top of things. So, we have a British friend that when we first arrived here, we met him. He has a boyfriend. They have an open relationship, but they don't let the other partner know who they're having sex with. I've met them both. We see them at parties. We're all friends. And I came right out and said, we're never going to have sex. We could be friends. And then they kind of drifted from us.
Mm.
Well,
because they wanted something.
Because they wanted something.
We could do a whole nother show on open relationships and the do's, the don'ts, the rules that you can, you can't. I don't want to know. Yeah.
So the fluidity, some people like to hide behind that. Oh, well, we're fluid, and we're this, and we're that. It's interesting. It's excitable, but for me, I think I always set the straight out. I think all my extracurricular activities with another person were very spontaneous, and that's what was exciting to me.
Oh yeah, when it's not planned. Yeah.
It's not planned. You're at a party and you're like, ooh, that guy's cute, or ooh, she's cute. And then
that's the best way.
Right. It's exciting and very interesting. And you don't really know they're 9 to 5.
Right.
You don't want another 9 to 5.
Yeah, it's hot. It's sexier like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The old-fashioned way.
Of course, the dirty is done, and you have a great time, and maybe you're away on vacation. Sometimes it happen. It would happen when we're in, Costa Rica or Los Angeles, and you spend a little time with that person, but then you're going home.
Right.
Yeah.
You're not going to run into the grocery.
Here in Denver, it's very, I'm going to say progressive. It's interesting. It's very, very progressive. Even more so than LA or New York. People are down and dirty here. Which is,
my gosh.
It's
Okay,
It's
Denver.
a huge community. Sniffles.
I'm gonna come visit you
Yet
the
again.
last weekend you're there, so we can go tear it up and then just leave.
Yeah, get a piece of some nuggets.
Yeah,
Right.
nuggets.
Nuggets, right?
It's as everybody knows, you're with a partner, and as long as you communicate. I had a partner that we communicated all the time about all kinds of crazy shit. So that was always really great. But using the fluidity as an excuse to go out on your partner, it's a little skeevy for me.
Yeah,
But everybody has a different relationship, so
Right.
who knows what the other partner's doing? Down at the rest stop, or meeting friends at a bar downtown for drinks or whatever. You know, it happens everywhere. For many of years, I just never paid attention to it. And now I think as I'm a little older, I'm far more in tune to it. So I'm far more easy to, it's far more easy for me to talk about it.
Yeah. I'm definitely finding it more from like people when I'm, you know, when I'm out. I must just give off an air or something. But I get hit on by everyone.
Well, it's confidence too. People are attracted to confidence. People are attracted to a smile. People are attracted to somebody who knows who they are. I mean, it's human nature. You know what I mean?
Like I said, there was a really
Confidence is
hot little
sexy.
redhead the other night, and her boyfriend came up, and I was talking to them and stuff, and then after a while, I was like, they're like, how old are you? And I'm just like, no, how old are you? And they're the same ages of my kids. So I was like, yeah, I got children your age. Mama ain't going down that road. But it was a boy and a girl, and she looked like Ariel with red hair, like, you know, the mermaid. And the boyfriend was like cute too. I was just like, what? It's very interesting.
Does age stop anybody on this panel from interacting sexually with people?
Hell yeah. If they're not over 18.
Well, that's a given. I mean, we're not.
Well, yeah.
I'm not into Fluidity.
It's like we're drawing the line at pedophilia.
Right. I'm not
Right.
committing
So,
no felony.
Kairi, would you date somebody in their 20s?
Yes.
Okay.
So my last partner was 11 years younger than I was.
Ooh. Did it make a difference?
It did not.
No.
It kept me youthful.
That's what I say. I mean, my partner now is 13 years younger than I am.
Yeah.
But I've been with people 20 years older too. You know, it just depends on the person. But I will say I definitely do things that I didn't do before, like more physical. It takes less to be entertained. Like, I don't feel like I got to get fancied up and go to dinner all the time. You know, or go get gussied up and go to events all the time. We go roller skating, you know, go horseback riding, go paddle boarding and stuff like that.
Jesse, let me find out you roller skate. Wait a minute, I've seen you in roller skating.
Are you a roller girl, a derby girl?
The roller rink over an 8 Mile?
Yeah, Schaefer or something.
Was it or was it? It wasn't the Lexus.
Not the Velodrome.
Okay, so it must have been in Northland or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I saw you, Kairi, and we saw each other. We were like,
I keep my skates in my trunk.
me too. Me too now.
Ready for open skate anytime.
Yeah, go skate into Fluidity, damn it.
Right.
That place is cool. Don't they do like disco roller skating or something? That's cool.
You can dance and skate. And I mean, I went with a white lady friend of mine a couple weeks ago. Girlfriend showed up to the rink in the hood in black sparkling jumpsuit, her wheels lit up, hair up, fur coat. I was like, I'm not this cool.
They will give you outfit at skating. They will give you outfit.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we got to cut to a commercial break. We'll be right back with more from the 5 F's to Love. See you in a minute.
Eres bonita, el olor de tu cabello son cosas que me excitan y tus panties en el what's up with it? Do it cause I love it and I stuck with it. We ain't with the subbing in the cut with it. Please none of the talks, I heard enough of it. Like, what you gonna do? Where you at? Who you with? You ain't really about this, don't talk about it. Really on the move, on the map, never slip. Keep your hands to your lips, don't talk about it. Real eyes, realize all the time. Stand on it, if we said it, we don't walk around it. Loose lips, sink ships, red cup, blue strips, new phone, who this? No, we don't allow it. Really on go, I don't know what's an off day. Now we on road, came from smoking in the hallway. Now we got shows, boys feeling like Broadway. Always look both ways, even on a crossway. Driving down Cross Bay, out town Barclays. Really on big things, came up a small way. Championship rings, baby, that's a ball game. Oh, she want a little bag, baby, that's small change. Yeah, that money talk. If we ain't cool, then cut me off. No breaking news, don't run your mouth. Thought it was the plug, now he running off. Thought it was a plug, now he running off.
We're back.
We're back. You
Yes,
know,
you're back.
I was just thinking this morning. Well, I usually always start my morning reading something spiritual, and so it's pretty interesting. I wanted to bring that what we're talking about is almost like 360. So this morning I started off. I was reading about Jacob. You know, fluidity has been around forever. So I was reading
A
about.
lot of people don't want to believe that.
I was reading
It's
about
true.
this biblical character Jacob, and he got drunk on his wedding night, and his father-in-law swapped his youngest daughter with the oldest daughter. Anyway, he didn't sleep with his wife. The father-in-law had him sleep with his other daughter, and so he was with these two women, and these two women were fighting to have like the first child, and so they will hook Jacob up with like their handmaids and stuff. So he was going around fucking the handmaids and just having sex with everybody. And so I'm like, well, that's funny that I read that this morning about spirit and it's spirituality, and here we are. I'm ending my night on almost the same topic.
Now this
Fast
is
forward.
Bible?
Yeah.
It's spiritual.
Yeah.
All right. Do you think that someone is fluid? If you're fluid, you can truly be in love with one person. What do you guys think?
I
Yes.
do. Yes.
I'm gonna say so.
I mean, I think sex and love are different things. And you can love someone and enjoy making love with them to their comfort level or whatever. But you might have some other needs that your partner can't fulfill. And I just feel like, I mean, I can't like have sex with somebody I don't enjoy in their humanity. Like if you're a Trumplican, fuck to the motherfucking no, not happening. However, but if you and your partner are in a good place and you're in agreement and you go to a space where something like that is happening, I feel like for me personally, but my partner and I have to be happy and in a good, solid, healthy space. And then, yeah, but I absolutely can have sex with other people and love my partner.
So you're saying, does fluidity have to have sex? Like, I don't.
That makes. I'm attracted to everyone, but yeah, it doesn't have to have sex.
I don't think just because you're fluid, you have to be sexual.
Yeah, that's a great point, Kay.
Mm.
That's a great point. What do you guys think?
What you think, Jeff?
Do you think? Okay, so you can be fluid without having sex. Is your point, right?
Yeah.
Well, the question was, if you're fluid, can you be in love with one person?
Sure, but you can also be in love with three. So, love is a chemical. It's your brain.
True.
We're talking,
Right.
They say that there's an average of 3 years of being in love. That feeling. There's
Right.
there's an algorithm to it, of course.
Yeah, because I think if you're
And it gets more
fluid,
complex as we get older, doesn't it?
It sure does.
On
Right,
the
you know,
Today Show this morning,
you know,
what's the Bush girl? She almost loved her cat just as much as she loved her husband.
What?
They put they did an EKG brain monitor on her, and they showed her pictures of different people, and her feelings for the cat were almost the same for her
are
husband.
you talking about Jenna Bush? Is that
I have heard
Jenna
people
Bush,
say,
yeah.
I will
Okay.
step on your
Yeah,
I can
baby
see it
head
with
to
her.
save my dog.
I mean, how do you think that makes her husband feel?
I can see it with her too, right? Doesn't surprise
I mean,
me.
I've had a lot of dogs in my life, but there's the one that I have now is it.
That's
Like,
it.
It is that unconditional, I will shoot your ass down if you even get nearer.
That's how I feel about Tiki Tiki.
You see, I think a lot of people have
I
I've
understand.
had a lot of dogs. This one particular dog is the shit for me.
The best
Like,
dog
Yeah.
ever.
you know,
No,
I whisper in her ear. I do all that weird shit that
Yeah,
people who
I
love
have,
their dogs do.
I have long conversations with my dog every day.
See?
See?
And
Damn
there
it, I
is
think Robin Luna.
a huge amount of emotional support with pets. There is, and like maybe with Jenna Bush, like
Jenna
within her brain, the chemicals are the same for her dog as her husband.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, we're all beings, for anybody to think that we didn't come out of the ground like a frog or a squirrel or whatever. That's how it works. It's science. I don't necessarily believe this Adam and Eve dropping, that kind of thing. I think we're beings and we're just highly evolved. So
I do too.
Well, who's that theory? That's Charles Darwin, right?
Yeah, Darwin.
it's
Evolution. The study of
evolution.
evolution.
Yeah.
So we're
Millions of years on the planet.
Yeah.
Sexuality is evolving into fluidity. There, I said it. Putting that on a t-shirt.
There, put it on a t-shirt.
What would you
Yeah.
tell? What would you tell someone that was contemplating making a shift to being fluid? That's a loaded question.
Hell yeah,
Holy
be
shit.
yourself. If I think if you're contemplating it, that means you're thinking about it. Taste the porridge. Lick
Taste the
lollipop.
rainbow.
Right. Lick the lollipop.
Yeah.
Lick
Be
it.
safe, be thoughtful,
Right.
really think about who and what are involved in your own fluidity.
Right.
Don't go
Especially-
around fucking people because then you're going to hurt people. You're going
Right.
Yeah, be
really be
intentional.
thoughtful about how you're acting and making sure that everybody around you feels good. I mean, it could get sloppy real quick.
Yeah,
and if-
'cause once again, I don't think fluidity has to be sexual.
No, you're
Yeah.
right.
So if you want to be fluid, be fluid.
I mean, you got to check out if you like somebody before you stick it in anyway,
Mm-hmm.
or stick it out. I don't know.
right?
Well,
Receive. I don't know.
I'm looking forward to my next vacation. Let's just. put
Oh
that
my
out.
God. I just said that shit out loud. Oh my God. But yeah, we're going to talk about it.
But Jessie, you're fluid in your career.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you got to think about that. I'm fluid in my career. I've done so many weird different things, but they're all kind of still related. So
Yeah. It's,
you know, when you think about
at the base
that,
of it, that's a great way to put it, Jeff. It's a bit at the end of the day, the base of it, I'm still me, and my talents are I'm good with people, I'm good with creativity, I'm good with coming up with ideas. It's kind of like who you are in your person at the end of the day, no matter who
Be
you have.
yourself.
All right, guys, we've got 20 seconds. Everybody say something that if you were going to say something about fluidity, what would it be? Go ahead, Dr. K.
Be fluid and let it flow.
Ooh.
be
Jeff.
honest, be truthful, and enjoy it.
Jesse.
Lick everything.
On that note, great job, guys. Great conversation.
Thank you. See you
Good
next
night.
Hey,
Conversation.
thank you for joining us. 5Fs
Bye,
to love.
guys.
Our community, our conversation. Tune in next week. Every Monday, we're on at 8 o'clock. Good night.